Okay, welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to quickly assemble the Bauer 5-speed drill press. This is from Harbor Freight, and that's the box. I took everything out of the box, not that many pieces, so everything is laid out here, and I actually added one thing to this setup. Now we have the base plate, and we have the table. This is what the drill press presses down on. This is the head unit, and then the bar that everything gets mounted on, the chuck. You have 3 handles that screw in to the down plunger, and you got a little adjustment Allen wrench there. So basically we're going to start with mounting the pole onto the base. Now here's where things change up a bit, and I recommend adding some washers. Okay, by the way, it's a good idea to have a 1/2-inch socket on hand, because that's what fits in these. Okay, and of course the ratchet that goes with it. And then on the table itself, it also has an adjustment if you want to twist it or check it. And being that these are standard 1/2-inch, you would figure this is standard, but a 3/4 inch socket is a wee bit floppy, although it'll hold it. So I went over to an 18 millimeter, and it's way more snug. So you can use that if you wanted to adjust the table later when you're checking it out. So let's move on to putting the base screws on. Now I got washers. Now the kit does not come with washers. Okay. And so I feel more comfortable using washers just to set the base a little bit better. And so we're going to put these on, spin them in. And of course, before you tighten everything, you want to get all 3 in. This way you got a little play if you need to move one around a little bit. All right, so there we go. All right. All right. Torque that down nice. All right. Last one in the back. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we got it nice and tight. All right, next we're going to take the head unit and, next we're going to put the table on. All right. Make sure this is loose here. Okay. And we're going to put it over. Slide it down, and what we're going to do is spin this tight, so when you flip the lever it can squeeze it, kind of like a bicycle seat. All right, and basically the lever just keeps tightening it down until it won't move anymore. Get it kind of straight. Okay, so there we go. And next, get a better angle here. We're going to take the head, and we're going to make sure the Allen key here is not sticking through the ring, because you want to be able to tighten it. You're going to have your Allen key ready here. Okay, and we're going to throw this on. Okay. Okay. Flip this baby over. Okay, and it'll slide on down. And we're going to get everything looking kind of straight. Now it's probably important to get the the plate, the table straight so you can align the head a little bit better. Okay, you want to get everything pretty decent. And then we're going to take the Allen key, all right, and we're going to tighten this onto the shaft. And you can use the long part to just speed tighten it. Okay. Get that nice and tight. And you got the second one too, because it goes all the way up. So basically you have two that tighten on the pole or shaft. Okay. All right, and we'll get this out of the way for now. All right, so we're going to put in the feed handles, and has a certain angle, so you got to kind of like feel that angle and do this for about an hour until you figure it out. Just kidding. All right, we got that. All right, and they got little flat spots here if you just wanted to grab it with pliers or a wrench to make it really tight. Okay. And then now we're going to press the chuck on. Okay. All right, so we're going to bring the table up close to the chuck, and I would say let's get it maybe 1.5 inches away. So I'm going to bring the table up a bit more. All right, I'm going to loosen this up. Maybe right there. I think that should be good. And we're going to get the chuck here. All right, like that. And then we're going to take the handle and press it down, and I will press the chuck into place. All right. So I'm going to take this and feed it down, and you'll feel it move a bit. And now the chuck should be on nice and tight. And by the way, make sure the chuck is in a fully open position like that. Okay, so hopefully you didn't do it before you finished watching this segment. Okay, and we'll try it one more time. We'll just press down and make sure that it's seated properly. Okay, and you see the table bending a little bit. All right. And now we want to adjust the speed, and as you may see in the instructions, it has different speed recommendations for different types of applications. And you can go from a low speed of 2 to 800, 800 to 1,000, 1,000 to 1,400, 1,400 to 2,000, and 2,000 to 3,500. And that all depends on how you adjust the belt on top. Okay, so there's a motor tension knob right here. You see that? You would unloosen that and you can swing the motor in. But before you do that, you have to loosen these two screws right here. Otherwise it's going to be pretty tight, and you use your 1/2 inch ratchet socket. Okay, I already loosened these a bit. Okay, now the motor is loose. You have the tension knob loose. Okay, and now you can pull the motor in a bit. It's spring loaded, so you're gonna have to just give it a little jab. And think you can see it. All right, so I want to go for, I'm going to pick about 1500. So we want the center spindle on both. So that would be here and here. So this has got to jump up 2 more, and this one has to jump up 2 more. So let's see what happens when we pull this, and we can push up on the belt and make this hop a gear, maybe. And maybe it'll be good if you had a helper helping you do this. Probably would help. Let's see. Okay, we did 1 jump on this one, 1 jump on that one. As you see, it's pretty loose. And then we're gonna do the jump there. Right now it's in the middle, okay? So what I would do is just push on this, get it pretty tense, take this knob, tighten it, and don't forget to go to the other side and tighten these 2 nuts too. Righty-tighty. Okay. Now those are tight. Okay, we got this knob tight. We got some decent tension here. By the way, this knob doesn't pull out or anything. It's just a clamp that clips. So this is just how you can get a hold of it. If you try unscrewing it, it's really not going to do anything but come off. Okay. And then now we're ready to do any drilling action. Now what you can do is put a bit or a round pole in here if you want to check how square everything is. And of course it's good to have the key ready. And there's a little spot for the key also. You can stick the key, I imagine, right here. There you go. It's a key holder. I'm not too sure if you can see it here. Let me move this camera around. There's the key holder. Okay, and then we got the safety switch, and if you want to keep it a wee bit safer, you can pull this out and then nothing will go on, supposedly. But probably a good idea to keep it unplugged when it's not in use, just in case you have some kids wandering around and so on. So let me put this here, and we're going to undo this plug. And we'll just do a little test plunge. But before we plug it in, we can test the squareness. Okay. And remember, you can't bring the head up. The head is fixed. It won't go anywhere. So it's about the base. It's about the table. Okay. So what you can do is put a square next to it. Now, I would get something a little bit smaller, put it on the table, and then we can check the squareness on both dimensions. All right, this square is a little bit too high, so I'd have to use something smaller. And just get it pretty close, depends on how accurate you would want it. Okay, and then we can bring this up. If we're going to be drilling thin stock, it doesn't have to be that low. And you want to center basically the table to the center hole to the drill bit. Okay. And then basically, if you're going to start drilling stuff, there's no fence on this. There might be a fence attachment, which would be really cool. But you would use a clamp. Okay, so let's get ready to go. I'm going to bring this a little farther away. Just like having at least a ½ inch, maybe an inch or so away from the stock. It depends on how deep you're going to drill. So we're going to come down. Let's see, we'll come down all the way through this. Now, of course, it's really important to make sure that the drill is pointed towards the hole in the table so you don't hit the metal of the table. So it's a good idea to just make sure that's the case, okay? And then suppose we had a particular spot that we wanted to drill into. X marks the spot. Of course, I'm going to pull out a pencil that's not sharpened. Okay, so let's just make an X here. All right. And what we can do is get the clamp ready. So we can use 2 clamps, and we'll put one here. Right. This is a DeWalt clamp. And let's see. Bring this down. X marks the spot. Oh, that's good enough for me. So let me just clamp this clamp. Okay. The other side, you have to make sure the clamp doesn't hit the push down handles. And it looks like it will here. So either you can pull this out to the edge of your workbench if it is not bolted down, and then clamp like this, upside down. Okay, double check. Okay, it looks good. And also, let's not forget that we have some settings here and we have a light. Now this can set the plunge depth, and right now it's set for just about the maximum going down, as you see. Okay. And then we have the light here. Okay. And the light goes on with this button. So let's plug it in and I will show you. And of course, safety glasses, see these babies? All right. So we'll put these babies on. And now we'll plug it in. There we go. Okay. And let's turn the light on first. Look at that. Okay. It's like a spotlight going on there. Okay. And let's see. You flip it up for on, and it's easy to push down for off. And let's do a little plunge. Not bad so far. Actually, this drill bit is probably not that sharp. Okay, almost a full plunge. We got a little more to go. And we are hitting bottom. Looks like it got a little loose. Now, if you can adjust the key, I highly suggest unplugging it before you tighten it. And as you saw, it was spinning a little bit. So we just want to get that a little bit tighter. There we go. All right, it did loosen up. And we did our drilling motion. Okay, so I wanted to show you the main reason why I bought this drill press. I was going to go to my brother's shop way out on Long Island, but I figured, you know what, this is a handy thing. $89 too, by the way. Got pretty good reviews on the Harbor Freight website, so as I was looking at it in the store, I read all the reviews and figured, oh, let me go for it. So anyway, I'm rebuilding a metal shelf that's missing pieces. They're metal cross pieces, so what I did is I get the 1x oak, and so I have to drill it from the side, and let me take this off so I can show you basically. Okay. And so I have to come down with probably a ½ inch hole, which is going to be really close. So I need to be really precise. That's why I can't use a handheld drill. and put in a little receiver fitting so I can piece this together, screw it in to that. And of course I'll spray paint this with silver paint to kind of match it. The customer wants this shelf to match all the other ones, otherwise he would buy a whole new unit. And so that's why I'm going to do this. So hopefully the project goes well. Anyway, so here you go. This is the assembly of the Bauer drill press. I'll show you the model number. It's the 5-speed, and it's 2120, what is it? 21221E-B. Okay, 21221E-B. And so there we go. And yeah, looks like a pretty good system. Hope this video helped you out. Remember to hit the thumbs up and keep safe. You know, make sure you wear protective gear, eyes, gloves if necessary, and hearing. Thanks for watching.